Finally happened. We had to resort to AMI days. Woe is me. But since we're here, we might as well make the best of it. So the plan is for me to, at the beginning of these weeks, or maybe even the days, I'm going to record a little video for y'all in which I kind of walk you through what the assignment's going to be. This week, I'm going to do the entire week. I will possibly try to do this thing called office hours, which I will put up a link to Zoom, which the school should tell you about Zoom. If not, then I'll walk you through how to download Zoom and all that. And that way we can have a in-class together kind of discussion where I can walk you through and answer any specific questions you have about the assignments that we're going to be tackling this week. But for the most part, all of our assignments that I'm going to assign you hit home to the two foundational elements of English: reading and writing. So let's start with day one. Day one, I chose an apropos short story for you by Ray Bradbury. In the past, it's The Pedestrian, by the way. In the past, we would read this story before we'd read Fahrenheit 451, which is an excellent Ray Bradbury novel. If you have just time to kill, I'd recommend picking up that one. It's a good one. But The Pedestrian, it is apropos mainly because of the social distancing, people quarantining, the streets seeming deserted. That's the big thing that's kind of going on there. And so that's why I chose you all to read The Pedestrian, because it is an interesting little take on it. It has nothing to do with illness. I guess you could say it might do some type of illness, but it isn't directly connected to a pandemic, but it is an interesting parallel to the current situation that we find ourselves in. So read The Pedestrian, so day one, read The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury, then write at least 300 words expressing and reflecting on your thoughts, ideas, feelings, questions, anything that short story generated in you. So just 300 words about your thoughts about that story. You can even go beyond the story and talk about the world today, but you do need to keep the story as kind of like the central pillar that you build everything off of. Day two. For day two, I'm going to have you read an article that is titled, "You Might Just Be Addicted. Smartphones Use Physically Affects Your Brain," study says, by Carol Murphy. Then, after you read that article, I want you to write at least 300 words answering the following question. Are you concerned about cell phone addiction? Explain. Now, there are two sides of this. Of course, you can agree or disagree or can be in between. But what I want you to do is use the information that article talks about as like similar to The Pedestrian earlier, the central pillar that you're going to build what you write off of. Okay? Day three, I'm going to have you have just a straight up writing prompt. No reading required for day three. All you have to do is just write 300 words over this prompt. What our parents don't know about our online lives. And I'll have a fancy graphic to go along with that come Wednesday to upload for you. But that is currently what day three is. Write 300 words, what our parents don't know about our online lives. Day four, I'm going to link to you two YouTube videos by this man named John McWhorter. He is a linguist, and he explores language in a very interesting way. I like how he speaks about it, and he brings up some interesting topics. The two videos that I'm going to have you watch, one is the more important one that I think would resonate the most with y'all is texting is killing language, JK? And another one that goes along with it kind of shows more of the history of how language evolves up to this point. And then, of course, texting shows how our language might evolve even further. So I want you to watch both of these videos. They're fairly short, I think. The longest one is maybe 7 minutes. So it should only take you 15 minutes total, I think. Then, after watching those two videos, I want you to write 300 words expressing and reflecting on your thoughts, feelings, ideas, and questions that you had while listening to McWhorter express his ideas. The last day, on Friday, I have another writing prompt, a 300-word writing prompt over Change My Perspective. It's all fake news. Once again, pretty graphic will be uploaded on Friday for you to stare at while you write. So that is the plan for the week. Why 300 words? I did technically 100 or 500 words is technically a page. I didn't want to force you to have to write a whole page. I do need you to go a little bit more in depth than just a sentence or a paragraph. So 300 words seemed to be about the perfect amount. a lot of like online college posts that I have to do. That I actually mine's 500 words, but I'm in my master's program. You are in high school, so I said 300 would work for that. I think like the seniors in the dual credit portion of their classes, they have to write 300 words for their post. So I felt like 300 words would be a good one for you all. So that's why it's 300 words. You don't have to stop 300 words. You can go beyond 300 words if you want. If you want to write more than 300, if you want to write 1,000, knock yourself out. Express your little heart out. Because the only way to get better at either of these skills of reading and writing is to read more and write more. All right, so that's the AMI week schedule for this week. Pay attention to Classroom because I might post a link to a class hour or to a office hour in which I will have a Zoom call where y'all can talk to me and ask me any questions you have about the particular assignments. But until next time, I'm your teacher, Paul Davidson, and hopefully I'll see you next week.